Sun Music Studio.
Hello and welcome. Chairman of the Sovereign Council Al Burhan received a written letter yesterday from Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al Sisi containing an official invitation to visit the Arab Republic of Egypt in the coming period. The letter also included an affirmation of the Egyptian support for Sudan during the difficult circumstances it is currently experiences. This came during his meeting with the Egyptian ambassador to Sudan, Hani Salah, in the presence of Foreign Minister Dr. Ali Youssef. Ambassador Hani explained that Al Burhan welcomed the invitation, indicating that both the Sudanese and Egyptian side will work to arrange the visit. He also explained that he briefed the president on the progress on the bilateral relations and the ongoing arrangements to hold the second edition of the Sudanese-Egyptian Business Forum. Defense Minister Lieutenant General Yassin Ibrahim Yassin held a fruitful meeting with Ms. Parimal Patten at his office in Port Sudan on Wednesday. The ministry retaliated Sudan's commitment to international and ethical convention and rules of engagement related to preventing violence against women. He noted that the Sudanese armed forces are pioneers in the field of human rights and they respect different segment of society, as this is derived from religious teaching and the culture of the Sudanese people. He pointed out that the armed forces are advanced in the field of human rights and have detailed laws to address human rights issues in the peace and war and to protect the rights of civilians. The armed forces, in coordination with the Joint Force, announced a fire attack launched by the militia southeast and northeast of Al Fashir were repelled. The battle resulted in the destruction of 15 compact vehicles, 2 fuel trucks, and a tractor carrying mobilization personnel, in addition to the disabling of a large number of the enemy vehicles. 70 militia members were also killed, including several commanders, and dozens were wounded. In a related development, the militia launched an indiscriminated shelling of the city on Wednesday that resulted in the death of 62 civilians, including 15 children between the age of 3 and 10, 17 women, and 13 men, in addition to wounding of 75 others. The chargé d'affaires at the Sudanese embassy in Australia, Ahmed Salah Bayoumi, met with Mr. Lara Nossa, acting assistant undersecretary of the State for African Affairs. He briefed her on the developments in the political and field situation in Sudan and the Sudanese government's step to create a democratic climate for the formation of a transitional government of national competence. He also informed her that the hostile Kenyan government move to host a meeting with the militia and their supporters to announce a parallel government. For her part, NASO affirmed the Australian government's support for Sudan's stability, unity, and territorial integrity, and the rejection of any move to form a parallel government. The Sudanese Liberation Army movement accused the second commander of the rebel militia of planning and overseeing the massacre against civilians in North Darfur state. The movement stated that the appearance of the criminal Abdul Rahman Daglo on Sunday, April 13, in a video podcasted from the Zamzam camp for displaced person via social media confirms beyond any doubt that he planned the Zamzam camp massacre. The movement indicated in a post on Facebook today that the death toll from the massacre has exceeded to 500 so far, in addition to thousands of wounded and injured and hundreds of missing persons. The movement called on human rights organization, the Security Council, the International Criminal Court to open an investigation into the crimes that threaten international peace and security. The Sudan Liberation Army movement accused the second commander of the rebel militia of planning and overseeing the massacre against the civilian in North Darfur state. The movement stated that the appearance of the criminal Abdul Rahim Daglu on Sunday, April 13, in a video podcasted from the Zamzam camp for displaced person via social media confirms beyond doubt that he planned the Zamzam camp massacre. The movement indicated that in a post on social media today that the death toll from the massacre has exceeded to 500 so far, in addition to thousands of wounded and injured and hundreds of missing persons. The movement called on for human rights organization, the Security Council, the International Criminal Court to open an investigation into these crimes that threaten international peace and security. Qatar Samir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani arrived in Moscow on Thursday for a visit that will include talks with President Vladimir Putin on Ukraine and Middle East issues. Qatar has made a series of attempts to mediate between Russia and Ukraine and has helped arrange the return of children from both countries who were separated from their parents during the war. Russia and Qatar said this week that the leaders would discuss efforts to find peace deal to end the war in Ukraine. Al-Shabaab militants seized control of the strategic town of Aben Yabil in Somali Middle Shabil region on Wednesday, following a brief but intense clash on the outskirts of the town. Security officials from Somali federal government and the Hirshabil regional administration confirmed that Al-Shabaab launched a multi-front assault on the swiftly took full control of the town. Hirshabil's Minister of Security Muhammad Khair confirmed that Al-Shabaab is now in control of the Arin Yabil. The town had previously served as a key operational base for Somali government force and an allied local militia. This was your today's news by Sniper TV. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Music Studio.